Ladies and gentlemen, I'm in Sydney. We're going to go across to Melbourne to the Connections Group office over there and have a chat. I can't even believe I'm saying this. I'm going to be talking for a little while about bras. It's not a subject that I talk about all that often, but this afternoon we're going to talk bras. In particular, we're going to be talking about bras for Uganda. You're going to find out what that is. It's all about giving back beyond borders. Over in Melbourne right now, we have Yvonne Verstandig and Suzy Zail. Yvonne, of course, is the co-founder, head of leisure at Executive Edge Travel, and she is in Melbourne together with Suzy Zail. Suzy is a former lawyer. She is now an author of numerous books, both for children and adults. Her most recent book being a young adult novel called I Am Change, which was written in collaboration with young Ugandan girls and tells the story of a young Ugandan girl's struggle to get an education. After the fog of the first weeks of isolation had ended for the author Suzy, and she says she Marie Kondoed the hell out of her home, she's then spent the time in isolation writing her next book and doing an online course from Yale called The Science of Happiness. And when you meet Suzy, you will see she will be smiling the whole time. Yvonne will also be smiling. She kicked off home isolation nursing her hubby who had COVID. He's okay now, but they sent their 3 kids away. They had to self-isolate. Yvonne said, though, she came out the winner. No COVID, no kids, increased exercise, decreased corporate wear, and she watched her first ever Netflix series in her entire life, and she said she still has no idea how to operate the television or Foxtel. Yvonne and Suzy should not have been able to talk to us live from Melbourne because they should right now have been, and they would have been in the old world, in Uganda and Rwanda past couple of weeks, leading their women's empowerment tour and being busy with the Bra Drive initiative that they created, and we're going to find out about. Let's cross to them now. Suzy and Yvonne, are you there? Yes, you are. Hey, guys.
Yes, we are.
Hi.
Hi.
Smiling.
Smiling. I can see both of you with big smiles. Lovely to see you in front of the Paris, virtual Paris picture. A bra drive. Can you tell us a little bit, in all seriousness, what is this bra drive and who is it that benefits from it?
Yes, well, Andrew, as you said, we were not meant to be here in Melbourne. Suzy and I were meant to be in Uganda and taking a group of women on a women's empowerment tour. This obviously couldn't happen. And we got together with the women and asked them whether they wanted to still do something and could we help in any way from afar. So that's what we've done.
So we basically asked one of my friends in Uganda, Christina Darrow, who works with vulnerable girls, how we could best help. And she said bras, specifically bras for the women and girls of the Soweto Namawongo slum. And that's one of the largest and poorest slums in Kampala. 30,000 people live within its walls, most of them crowded into small one-room mud houses. And it's very hard to earn a living. Most of the women survive by selling vegetables, home-cooked food, and doing other people's washing, earning as little as 23 cents a week. And once COVID happened and the lockdowns occurred, they couldn't leave their homes, and so even that small income dried up.
So guys, I need to ask you, it's a serious question, why bras? How did you come up with that idea and why bras specifically?
Well, most girls in the Namawongo slums find it really hard even to afford a meal, so they definitely can't afford to buy things like bras. And Christine told us that what they do to earn enough money to buy a bra is they do sexual transactions. So by us providing secondhand bras to these girls means we are saving them from dangerous situations, but also from putting themselves in compromising situations.
So today actually is our last day of our bra drive. So we've been running it for 2 weeks. We've collected over 2,000 bras. So we're just amazed. Our collection points start in Victoria, went to New South Wales, Western Australia and WA. We've even had through our social platforms, we've had friends across in Italy, in US and also in Canada sponsoring our bra drive basically. And now we're on to the next stage, which is going to be shipping the bras over to Uganda. So now it's over to funding for the shipment.
Regarding Uganda, why Uganda, or how did you choose Uganda for the Women's Empowerment Tour?
Well, the story really reaches back to 2015 when I started researching for my novel, I Am Change. I wanted to write a book about what it means to be female in a place where girls aren't supposed to go to school or be as smart as their brothers. But of course, I didn't know what it felt like to be a poor African girl without shoes or school books. I needed to speak to girls who did, so I flew to Uganda. And the 30 girls I met with through organisations like Concern for the Girl Child and Girls Not Brides told me about foregoing meals to pay for textbooks and selling their bodies to pay their school fees. None of the girls I spoke to had both their parents, and most of them lived in the slums of Uganda or in remote villages without running water or electricity. And they wanted more than anything to go to school. The few girls I spoke to who did go to school were all on scholarships, and they considered themselves blessed because they were lucky to be learning.
So over the years, Suzy shared her stories with me, and I was totally inspired by her. And I wanted to look for something else in travel, and a deeper, more meaningful travel experience basically for my clients. So I asked Suzy back then, 2 years ago now, would she, actually 3 years ago, I think, would she co-host a tour through Uganda with me for women to support these young girls in Uganda. Our focus was to create real change and help improve the lives of girls through authentic giving.
Tell me, you mentioned the trip to Uganda. Tell us, what was that going? I don't want to make you feel bad that you were unable to take the trip, but what was it going to be? What was it going to involve?
Well, the good news is we are going to take the trip, and hopefully going to take it at the same time next year. And if not, then soon after. But it's going to be fantastic. So the first 5 days are going to be spent in Kampala, reaching out to the women's rights organisations to find out the work they do and how we can best help them support and empower girls. We're going to meet a lot of the girls that inspired my novel. We're going to go to their homes and cook with them and play sport with them. We're going to visit them in school and sit in on Girls Empowerment Club meetings. We're going to meet the women and girls who work and live in the Bwezi slums. And we're also going to spend time with artists, with businesswomen and with female leaders of change so that we can better learn about the issues girls face and how we in the Western world can best help them.
And for those that know me, they know that I don't believe in a trip without a slice of adventure thrown in. So our next 5 days is going to be all about that. So from there, from Kampala, we're going to fly up to the north to a very remote area, Kadepo National Park. And that's going to be safari. It's going to be safari by four-wheel drive as well as on foot, and to the Karamojong tribes there. A bit of tribal dance as well. And then to end the trip, we're going to be flying all the way down to the southwest to Bwindi National Park and, visiting local communities there as well. But then, the finale of the trip is trekking with the gorillas. And that's no doubt a highlight on everyone's African journey. So it's going to be one of our highlights as well to end with. So that's where we're at.
And I think we've got maybe one spot left, possibly.
One spot left, did you say? Did I just hear that right?
Yes, one or two, but we've already got people vying for them. So hopefully we're done.
Okay.
So bring on 2021.
It does sound like a fantastic trip, but more than that, first of all, Yvonne, I'm not surprised that you've thrown in a little bit of an adventure component to that trip as well, knowing your interests. But guys, quite seriously, I do hope that it all goes ahead as planned in 2021, even though it couldn't happen. First of all, it's a fantastic initiative, so good on you for that. And it ties in so beautifully, I don't want to overstate it, but it really ties in so beautifully with the whole ethos of Ubuntu and giving back. So thank you for your time, both of you, this afternoon. Stay safe and enjoy the trip to Uganda next year.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for support. Thanks.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.